Senate Democrats bullish on permitting reform despite odds. Lawmakers are working toward an end-of-the-month spending deadline. So at the end of this month, they have to have a bill that keeps the government open. And if they don't, the government closes. So that's called a must-pass bill. Why do I tell you this? Because Joe Manchin is now going to have a bill written for his donors in the oil industry, gas and oil industry, and they're going to attach it to a government funding bill. You see? So watch this. Democrats are grappling with how long a spending continuing resolution should run, and whether they'll have enough support to attach the environmental permitting measure. That's the thing that he wants. The environmental permitting measure, Senate Energy and Natural Resource Chair Joe Manchin is negotiating with party leaders. They promised the party leaders. They promised Manchin to pass a bill by the end of as if he's the fucking president.
You do not break a promise to Joe Manchin.
They promised Manchin to pass a bill by the end of the fiscal year in exchange for him supporting the Inflation Reduction Act.
So didn't he get enough stuff in the act itself? They had to...
Right?
But
they got to give him another one. The deal, which was blessed by the White House, could deliver speedier approval for Equitron's midstream corporations. So there's this pipeline, it's called Mountain Valley Gas Pipeline, that's going to cross the state of West Virginia. That's Manchin's home state. And this bill is going to allow this pipeline to be completed. And so that's why Manchin wants this, and they're going to give it to him. But guess what? Biden also wants it. Don't think he doesn't. The deal also may expedite approvals for new clean energy projects spurred by the climate. So they're saying, oh, well, this will also help clean energy.
It may.
Yeah, it may. That's what they're saying. Because sometimes you want to put up a windmill and you don't want to wait around for all the regulations. So this will help us get windmills up. Of course, this is what it's about this. The Mountain Valley Pipeline alone would lead to this. I mean, we just had someone touting the climate change policies of the Democrats.
Am I wrong to yell at Ben? That's what I say when I look at this.
Come on. The Mountain Valley Pipeline alone would lead to an annual emissions equivalent to over 89 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. And what I wish I would have said when we were talking with Ben is the Democrats and the Republicans are both driving towards off a cliff. The Democrats are driving 5 miles an hour slower than the Republicans. They're both out hanging towards the cliff. Is that something to hang your hat on and keep voting? So we're going to keep doing that? No, you don't keep doing that. You look for a revolution. So I wish I would have said that when he was here, but I didn't. So this new thing that they're going to get, it's going to get 89 million metric tons of carbon dioxide every year.
Great. So
this is equal to the emissions from 26 coal plants or 19 million passenger vehicles per year. That's what Joe Biden is getting into the bill. What was it? The Inflation Reduction Act. Remember that? Which was it's going to help us. Do you see what they're fucking doing? Are you that stupid that you think that the Democrats really give a shit about climate change?
No, I know they don't. It's just a little bit, but it's also like a moral imperative, but just a little bit more moral.
So this bill could also make changes to bedrock environmental laws by putting 2-year time limits on project review. So they're going to shorten the time that you have to do environmental studies, whatever, to get the impact. If the legislation is passed, it would mark a big win for oil and gas. Guess what else was a big win for oil and gas? The last fucking thing they just passed. The Inflation Reduction Act. Also a big win for oil and gas. But people will tell you the Democrats are better on climate change. So guess what? So there are people, they signed a letter. So the progressives got together. Now, this is what they call a must-pass bill, right? Meaning that they have to pass this. And they're going to need the votes of the squad, just like Nancy Pelosi could not get elected speaker without the votes of the squad. The squad, if they would have withheld their votes on Nancy Pelosi, the speaker, we could have got something. They didn't withhold their vote. They didn't force a vote on Medicare for all, and we got nothing. Here's another chance for them to do something, it looks like. So what they could do is threaten to withhold their vote on this bill. That's what they should be doing. You know what they are doing? They fucking wrote a letter. They signed onto a letter.
You know what would have been more effective if they had written it on the butt of an AOC dress.
They signed onto a letter asking Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer, the leaders of the Democrats in the House, to decouple the bills. So we want to vote for the must-pass bill, meaning keeping the government open and running. We know we're going to vote for that. So please take this other bill that helps the oil and gas industry out of that bill so we don't have to vote for that too. Now, if they really wanted that to happen, what they should be saying is we're not going to vote for your fucking funding bill unless you take this oil and gas Joe Manchin bill out of it. They're not doing that. What are they doing? They're writing a sternly worded letter.
Probably a nicely worded one.
Probably
they
nicely.
Probably compromise on the sternness of the language. Well, you can ask, but
you can. So here, AOC, Pamela Jayapal, Jerry Nadler, Katie Porter, and Jamie Raskin, as well as some House Democrats not always identified as a progressive, they've signed on to this letter. But what they're not doing is pledging to withhold their vote for the bill. They're not gonna. And it's the same thing like they did around forced to vote. And nobody is going to make them withhold their vote. Nobody's going to pressure them.
God, you've got to vote for the people pretending to do the right thing. It's so clear to me.
Do you think the people at TYT? Do you think the people at TYT are going to tell them to withhold their vote on this? To use their leverage? They're not.
The good folks of the Tit Network, I wonder what they'll say when...
The proposal, so this bill also requires that the president create a list of 25 energy projects deemed to be of strategic national importance. At least 5 of the priority items shall be projects to produce, process, transport, or store fossil fuel projects or biofuels, including. So they're forcing him to ramp up fossil fuel production, forcing the government, Joe Biden, this bill.
Well, you know, we're never going to stop until we just run out. It's kind of like the cocaine principle. You just got to get through this whole stash.
Yeah. If Pelosi and Hoyer tie Manchin's pipeline bill to a must-pass bill like keeping the government funded next month, even progressives will feel obliged to vote for it, which is why they're going to do that. But, Jonathan Larson, if you don't know this, I'll tell you that the squad could then withhold their vote on this. Gravalia is asking House Democrats by end of business today to sign a letter. Do you guys ever get tired of being this fucking pathetic? Do you ever get tired of being this pathetic? No. The answer is no. And the Young Turks are not going to force the squad to use their leverage. Now, what also could happen here is Nancy Pelosi tells the squad, I don't need your votes because there's so much shit in this for the oil industry that I can get Republicans to vote for this. Now, that could happen. So wouldn't it be great for the squad and the progressives in Congress to expose the Democrats for being such fucking corporatists? Wouldn't that be great if they didn't vote for it, but then Nancy Pelosi had to go get Republicans to pass it? That would be great for progressives. They're not going to do that. And nope. And TYT, Ryan Grimm, nobody's going to, The Intercept, nobody's going to pressure the squad to withhold their vote.
So you're saying the odds are pretty good, like in that top article?
Yes.
We think now, despite the odds, it might still make it, even with the potential squad being not completely on board.
This is my favorite thing. It says, of course, it will be grimly ironic.
Ryan grimly ironic.
Ryan grimly ironic. If leadership, meaning if Nancy Pelosi, makes progressives pass Manchin's bill. Hey, Jonathan Larson at TYT, I have news for you. She can't make them do that. She can't make them. You know what they're going to do? They're going to decide to support that bill because the squad are fucking sellouts to the corporation and the party. That's what this is. They can't make them.
Grimly ironic. Oh, the thing I never thought would happen.
They can't make them do anything.
Yeah, grimly ironic is a white dress with tax the rich written on the back of it.
That's grimly ironic.
This is just standard how it works.
So there they are. They're pretending that the women of the squad and the men of the squad don't have agency, and they don't know how to, they can't do anything. They can only do what Nancy Pelosi says. That's the thinking of TYT.
Oh God, I was watching some Fox clip. I don't remember which guy, some jagoff. He's like, yeah, the squad's basically steering the whole Democratic. Are they?
So let's see if the squad uses their leverage. They're never going to use their leverage. And let's see if TYT pressures them to use their leverage. TYT will never pressure them to use their leverage.
Was that the hill they want to die on?
So here we are again with another quasi-forced to vote moment, and the squad aren't going to do it again. And TYT already said they can't do anything. By the way, this guy works at TYT, just so you know.
Oh.
That's why I keep saying TYT, because that guy...
Jonathan, start making those T-shirts now. Grimly ironic with the squad on.
Grimly ironic. Hey, come catch one of our live stand-up shows. We'll be in Spokane, Tacoma, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member while you're there.